Okay, so now my screen visible. Okay, so
Yes.
yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's start from where we left in the last class. So I believe I think I left in this class. So I told you demand means it's a desire to acquire something like you should be waiting to buy that product, and you should be ready to pay for the product. Like you should be very much willing to pay for the product, and you should have the ability to pay the product. I told you with an example of an iPhone in the last class. Like some of you must be having the desire to buy the product, and you are ready to pay for the product, and when you get the job, your first job, you'll be able to pay for the product from your pocket. So that's where the demand is created. So demand is based upon the desire to acquire, the willingness to pay, and the ability to pay. So these are the three things about demand which we saw in the last class. And we also discussed about how demand is closely related to supply. So what happens when demand increases? When the demand increases, the supply of the product will also increase. Okay, so when the demand decreases, the supply should decrease. Okay, that's the logic what we saw in the last class. And again, when it comes to the prices, when the demand is more and the supply is less, when the demand is more and the supply is less, what happens to the price? Demand is more and the supply is less. What will happen to the cost?
It will increase.
Decrease.
Cost will increase or
The
decrease?
price
Decrease.
Price
increases.
will understand. I told you the
Increase.
situation of we saw it with the example of a sanitizer. The demand for sanitizer now is high, but the supply of sanitizer is less. What will happen to the cost
Cost
or the
will
price?
increase.
So the cost
Cost
will
will
start
increase.
Increase.
Very good, very good. Okay, so the cost will increase. Okay, so now we'll take the other way. The demand for sanitizer has come down, but the supply of sanitizer has went up. Now what will happen to the cost?
Decrease.
decrease,
it,
sir.
it will decrease. Okay, so over a period of time, what is going to what has happened now? The cost of sanitizer and the demand for sanitizer, sorry, the supply of sanitizer and the demand for sanitizer, supply and demand both have reached a equilibrium state, and now we find that price of the sanitizer to be optimum. Correct? I still remember during March month, I bought a sanitizer of, say for example, I don't remember it may be like 100 ml. I bought it for around 100 rupees or 75 rupees. I don't remember, just for 100 ml. But now it's coming down. I am buying for like 45 to 50 rupees. So the cost of sanitizer has come down because now it has reached an optimum point. Okay, now remember this example. With this example, I'm just moving to the next slide. From where we are going to start our discussion. Okay, so when I speak about market, it's going to be depending upon two things. One is the supply, the other one is about the demand. Okay, you take the example of the graph which we plotted in this slide. Just observe the slide. You will find a graph at the bottom of the slide. You can find that there are two things. In the x-axis, I have the demand, and in the y-axis, I have the price or the cost of the product. Okay, so now take like this. So what it shows, if the price of the product is less, just observe the graph and try to think the situation what I am speaking now. If the demand for the product is high, automatically what happens? When the demand is more, they
Price
will
is more.
try they will try to increase the price. When the demand is more, they will try to increase the price because that's a huge demand. Okay, so that means the slope what you find, the line connecting the price and the demand will be more lengthier, and it will be more flat. It will try to be getting flat. Okay, but if the price is high, automatically over a period of time what will happen? Automatically when the price is high, automatically over a period of time the demand for the product will come down. Okay, when the price is so much high, the demand for the product will slowly come down. I'll give you one example for this. The cost of your popcorn in any cinema hall. Okay, what is the cost of popcorn in cinema hall for a decent bucket?
So it's way too much.
Huh?
250.
250.
It's way too much.
250 rupees.
Yes, sir.
250. Shall I take it as 250?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm taking it as 250. What is the cost of ticket, sir?
It's 180 or
100 rupees.
1.
120
Around the
rupees.
same.
120 or 140? Okay, let's take it as 180 also. But what's the cost of popcorn? 250. Okay, you know what is popcorn? It's made up of corn, correct?
Yes, sir.
Which won't cost you more than 5 rupees if you buy in a market. Okay, if you buy from the farmer, it will be only 50 paise or 1 rupee. So and say some value addition is happening. Let's keep overall manufacturing cost of the popcorn is will be 5 rupees, but you're buying that for 250 rupees. I don't know why. So what happened now? People have slowly. I could clearly observe whenever we go to cinema hall. I could observe that the people who are buying popcorn has come down because the price went high. The demand for popcorn came down. Correct? Are you able to correlate now? Okay, so the price for
Yes, sir.
popcorn raised, the demand for popcorn reduced in cinema halls. Okay, so that's the reason. So whenever demand price is increasing, the demand will also come down. So that's the discussion. Okay, now, but we can't generalize these statements because for product to product, this is going to vary. So what happens? So when we plotted this graph, what assumptions we made is there is no difference in the product, like all there's going to be only a single product. I'm speaking only about a single product. I'm not taking all products in the market available, so there is no product differentiation. Then I am assuming that these products, whatever the product whatever I considered for plotting this graph is a basic necessity. It's not like without this product people can't. It's not like that. It's going to be the basic necessity, and we also assume that there is this product does not have any substitute products like petrol or like diesel. So these products are not going to have any substitute as per our last discussion. So these three assumptions we have made. With these assumptions, I'm just moving forward. That is, that's a single product. There is no product differentiation, and this product is not going to have any substitute in the market. And this is the basic necessary thing for a human to survive. These three assumptions I have made, and with these three assumptions, we will see what is going to happen. Okay. So now you remembered all these three things. Now answer. Now try to understand this. Generally, we classify demands based upon four concepts, four factors. Okay, the first one is going to be the nature of the product. What is the nature of the product, and what is the usage of the product? How much it's used by the people. Then the number of consumers the product gets, or the product is how many number of customers welcome this product. Then who is going to supply the product? So depending upon the suppliers or the supply of the product, we are going to classify. So what are the four things? Repeat: nature of the product, usage of the product,
Usage.
number of consumers, suppliers of your product. So you have four things here: nature, usage of the product, number of customers, and who is going to supply the product. Okay, but at times this demand will be different in different situations, and that's why I highlighted in red color. The demand for a particular product will be different in different situations. Again, this pandemic situation is a very good example. We never thought about, like, sanitizers were never in our grocery list, or we never used sanitizer except a few people. We never I'm speaking about general Indian mindset. We never used sanitizers, we never used mask when we go out. Okay, so these were the general habit, but now what happens, there's a sudden demand, and that's why I told you this is going to be different in different situations. So we don't know when all of a sudden people were wanted to use sanitizers, this face mask, this that, all precautionary measures. Okay, so that we don't know when a demand will come for a product. Okay, and the next. So now we will see one by one how you are going, this demand is going to is getting classified. Okay, so come along with me. So this is the first one is called as here we are going to discuss about the types of demand. The first type of demand is called as the individual demand or the market demand. Okay, what is individual demand? What I want as a customer, what an individual customer wants, that is called as individual demand. Okay, that's why the quantity demanded by an individual for a product at a particular place at a specific time. Okay, because humans are tend to change, their mindsets will have a big swing. So they now I may need a hot a cold coffee, but after some time I may need a hot coffee. So I don't know. Depending upon the time, my demand is going to change, and depending upon the price of the product. Okay, depending on sometimes I want to have a cold coffee now. It may cost you, like say, I don't know the exact price. Let's say it's going to cost me 50 rupees, but in my pocket now I don't have 50 rupees, so I will be thinking about the alternate product. Okay, so on a given time, with the money what you have, the individual and the desire to have something, so the individual demand is going to have a swing. So the individual demand depends upon the product, the price, and the specific time period. Okay, this is individual demand. That depends upon the individual customers. What is market demand? Market demand is a summation of all the individual demands, correct? Okay, so individual demand, market demand is the summation of all individual demands. Like it's a summation of all consumers put together. What is the demand of the consumers basically? So that is what is called as market demand. Okay, I'm giving you that's aggregate of all individual demands is called as the market demand. So what is the example for that? So here you see, there's a guy who wants to buy 30 liters. The first customer wants to buy 30 liters. The second customer wants to buy 40 liters, 50 liters, and 60 liters of oil. This is general thing. So the first individual demand is 30, the second individual demand is 40, the third individual demand is 50, the fourth individual demand is 60. So when I sum everything together, I'm getting 180. So 180 is the market demand, 30, 40, 50, 60 is the individual demand. Okay, so that is that is called. So now you can understand what is individual demand and what is market demand. Market demand is a summation of all individual demands. Aggregate means summation, right? So summation of all individual demands put together we call it as market demand. Okay, we say suddenly we say the market demand for a particular item, for a rice or for wheat as raised. People started consuming more rice, people started consuming more wheat. So because of that, the market demand for this particular product has went up. We hear people speaking like that. Okay, next we speak about the next type of demand we call as organization demand and industry demand. This is based upon the market. I told you this is based upon the market of the market. Okay, so this when I say market, this again going to depend upon the price of the product and of at a given particular time. So that's why this when you calculate this organization demand or the industry demand, we always speak about time. So always we speak about it's going to be the it all falls within a time period. So that's why when we calculate the demands, we always say at which period, like the time period. Say for example, we always have financial quotas. These companies calculate the fine depending upon the financial quarter. They tell what is the demand for their product. Now let's come to what is organization demand. Okay, there is a demand for Toyota Etios more in number. Of course the model is stopped now. Let's say the other, okay, Toyota Fortuner. There's a very big demand for Fortuner vehicles in the market now. Okay, then or the Liva, some model X and Y brand of Toyota cars. There is a sudden rise of in the market for Toyota cars. Or so let's say there's a sudden rise in Baleno, the sales of Baleno car of Maruti Suzuki, Suzuki, right? So this, now Suzuki's Baleno is from Suzuki. So Suzuki finds a very good market. The Baleno demand for Baleno cars is very high. So this is the for the here the organization is Suzuki. The variant of their car is called as Baleno. Again, Baleno has more variants. Like we have automatic, semi-automatic, we have AVT, diesel, all these things. There are XS, like many classifications we have. But what I'm telling is now, let's say if the example of the slide what I have, Toyota is a brand, Toyota is an organization, Toyota is an organization. They have their own cars. Like let's say Liva or the Etios has more number of sales. So this is for the organizational demand, the demand for a particular organization. Like we all love to buy a Royal Enfield bike. So for when you speak Royal Enfield bike, that is going to be the demand for the bikes produced by the organization Royal Enfield. Okay, or say KTM bikes are sold more in number. Then we say the demand for the KTM bikes is going to be high. Same applies to Apple or any organization for that matter. Then what is the industry demand? Then we say industry. When I say industry, it includes all automobile, all four-wheelers, or put together, or all two-wheeler manufacturing organizations put together. I give you the example here: Toyota, Maruti Suzuki, Tata, Hyundai, in India, they all form this automobile sector. So the demand for automobiles, four-wheelers, when we say, then that is called as industry as a demand. Okay, so when I say there is a demand for mechanical engineering students of VIT Vellore campus, then it denotes organizational demand. And if I say that's generally, if I say there is a demand for mechanical engineers all around the globe, then I say then it's called as industry demand. Okay, now you are able to classify. Organization is specific, industry is in a broader term. That's it. So now, but when you're calculating, but we can't sell because the when I say organizational demand, it may be, or the industry demand, this may be country specific sometimes. That's why when you calculate for the global market, we don't mind about the organization or the industry demand. It generally applies to the product what is sold. Okay. Then we are coming to the next type of demand. It is called as autonomous demand or the derived demands. Okay, it refers to the classification depending upon the dependency on the other products. Like it depends on the other products. Like if I buy some product, there may be need for there may be need for other there will be a decrease on increase or decrease in need for the product, or the demand for the product may increase or decrease. Okay, so if your product is like that, okay, say for example there is some product like food or shelter, clothes, vehicles. If I just buy that product, it is not going to impact the sales of the other products, right? If I buy a food, that's it, I am going to eat, that's it, done. So that is called autonomous demand. The purchase of this product or the demand for this product does not affect the demand of any other products. So then we call them as autonomous product. I buy a cloth, that's it. That is, if I buy a cloth, that is, buying a cloth will not affect any other sales of any other products in the market. So then we call this product as autonomous demand. Okay, then derived demands will be just opposite of this, correct? So when I buy a product, and if I buy a product because of buying this product, if the demand then if the demand of other products is going to be affected, then we call it as derived demands. As we discussed already, I told you the good example is petrol and diesel. That's why always any government, whenever it comes to power, they always try very hard to keep the price of petrol, diesel, or the LPG very less. Why? Can anyone guess? Why a government should try to keep the, any government for the matter,
Because
should
then
keep
there will
the,
be
Because the
general
prices of petrol are
inflation.
yeah, please, anyone?
what is the question?
Anyone,
No,
anyone, please.
because sales of such kind of products, that is petrol, diesel, or maybe even natural gas, affects the sale of other industries like say automotive industries.
Okay, not only that. Can
See
you
why?
think?
Because due to transport other goods, auto, it increases the price of other goods due to the increase of petrol.
Exactly. You're right. If I increase the price of diesel, say for example, 2 rupee for by 1 rupee. Okay, if I increase the rate of petrol by 1 rupee, automatically this 1 rupee will be like, say for example, I'm going to transport for 100 kilometers. Okay, from Vellore to some Kanchipuram, up and down I'm going, so it's going to be cost me 1 rupee extra. So say for example, I'm going to consume 100 liters of petrol, so I'm going to pay 100 rupees extra. Okay, if I pay 100 rupees extra, what happens? This 100, it will automatically fall on the product what is being transported by using that particular truck or whatever, or for the tempo or whatever I'm putting extra, that is going to be charged on the goods what I transported. Again, when the price falls on the falls on the goods what I transported, it is going to that cost is going to be collected from the consumer. Okay, so if I transport something, that means automatically the customer is paying for it. So if the price of the diesel rises, the cost of vegetables will go up, the cost of milk may go up, the cost of any products which is being transported will go up, at least slightly by a rupee or by some paisa. So, but automatically when you take it cumulatively, the price of all products are going to rise if you raise the price of petrol and diesel. That's why we see all politicians fighting every time, telling that whichever may be the government, they'll fight. See, in your period the petrol price has rise, people are suffering. So that's the relation. So that's called as derived demand. So derived demand means what? If the price of petrol or diesel has increased, automatically the price of other products are going to be affected. The sales and demand of the product is going to be affected. That's why autonomous products or will not affect the price of other products, price or the demand of the other products, whereas derived demands means if the sales of a particular or the demand for a particular product will be affecting the demand of other products. Okay, so what happens when you increase the price of the petrol or the diesel, the cost of the food items is going to increase automatically. Some poor people will not be able to afford that for the product, and many will go without food to their bed. So that's the reason. But again, the demand for substitutes or complementary goods is also derived demands. I told you substitute products. There are always some substitute products. If that's what I told you. If I want to have a cold coffee, I don't have money. I don't mind. Next, I go for another option, a much cheap option. I can buy a 10 rupees ice cream. I want to buy a branded bike, like say for I want to buy a Royal Enfield. It's not available. I'll go for the next product. So the demand for substitute products is also called as derived demand. Okay, now this is very interesting. So the demand for perishable and durable goods. This is also very important. Why? So can you tell the example of perishable goods?
Dairy products.
Okay,
Vegetables.
any dairy products. You can take the fish, meat, anything for that matter. Like all edible items can come under perishable goods mostly. Okay, and these are like single use items. Single use items. That's why I gave the example in the slide. If you could see, I gave the example of cement, coal, fuel. Once you use the cement, you can't take it back. Once you fire the coal, you can't take it back. Once you use the fuel, it will go smoke. You can't take it back. So whichever item you are able to use only one time, that those items we classify as perishable goods. And the items which we can use for a long time, then we call that as durable goods. Okay. The sales of perishable goods or the demand for perishable goods again depends upon the individual demand or individual requirement. Okay, so that's why we call them as perishable goods. Okay, I can give you one good example. Let's say the common problem of farmers. Let it be onion or let it be tomatoes. Let's take the example of tomatoes. Okay, in Tamil Nadu, a lot of tomatoes are grown in the foothills of Kodaikanal. Kodaikanal. Okay, all know Kodaikanal, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Staying in VIT for 2-3 years, you will know Kodaikanal. I think you should have visited that at least sometimes. If not, try it. Okay. This perishable goods like tomatoes. What happens? The demand for tomatoes suddenly will go up in summer season. Let's say if you are eating a lot of biryanis, they use tomatoes. So tomatoes prices go up drastically. So when the price of tomato goes up drastically, the demand will also the farmers has to cope up with the demand, but they can't supply more tomatoes to the market. So that time they'll there's a box. Okay, the tomatoes are normally packed in some wooden boxes. The cost of the wooden box will weigh around like 5 kg or 5 kg. 5 kg box. One box will have 5 kg of tomatoes. They will sell the box for 2 rupees. Sorry, for 50 rupees, 50 rupees or 60 rupees from the farmers, they will be able to buy, so that the market in the market they will be selling for 100 rupees. So when the demand is more, the supply is less, the cost of the tomatoes is high. But sometimes during rainy season or during some time, the demand for tomatoes will come down, but there will be more production. Because what happens, because of rain, more tomatoes, the plant will grow well, the yield will be more. So when the yield of tomato is more, the box which was selling for which was sold for 50 rupees, which was bought from the farmer for 50 rupees, now will go only for 2 rupees. Okay, yeah, 5 kg tomato for 2 rupees, if he's selling to the market, what profit the farmer can make? Because he needs to pay for the box. The box itself will cost them 10 rupees, and they have to pay for the for the people who are working in their farm to collect the tomatoes from the farm. So they have to pay them, right? So the labor charges involved in plucking the fruits, packing it, and the box, the cost of the box, as well as the fertilizers and other pesticides what they use. So imagine if they're selling for 50 rupees, they can make they can make a decent profit. But if they're able to make a profit of 2 rupees, what the farmers will do? You have any guess? Because that's a perishable product. Any idea what the farmers are going to do now? If they're selling 5 kg of tomato for 2 rupees, any guess?
Cells.
Loss.
Hmm? Can you make any guess?
They will destroy the tomatoes.
Loss.
Yeah, they are just going to throw the tomatoes in the road because they can't leave that in the plant also, because if they're living in the plant, more insects will be there. I mean, more insect attack will be there. So they'll just pluck the fruits and throw it in the road, or they'll dump it somewhere. Imagine how pathetic it will be for I mean, how miserable condition it will be for the farmers to do such kind of things. So that's why. So perishable goods are will have very volatile. The price, the supply and demand are very volatile situations to be handled. Same applies with the fish, which is highly perishable. Okay, so this thing. So now you got what is perishable goods and what is durable. Durable goods you can use again and again repeatedly. For example, the clothes what we wear, the shoes, the machines, the buildings, anything like even your cell phone is sometimes durable goods, right? So durable goods like repeatedly means in sense like not for a very long time. Like it's not like that I bought a phone for in when I was in 10th standard and I'll use it till my I go to my deathbed. It's not like that. Durable goods means they will have some decent usage of time for usage. So now you know what is perishable goods and what is durable goods. Okay, so that's what the demand for perishable goods depends upon the current price of the goods and the customer incomes or the taste and preferences that may change frequently. That's what I told you. Sometimes what happens, like say, this is again a good thing. Like you could have observed the sales of meat. Okay, the sales of meat, whether it's the chicken or the mutton or the fish, came down drastically during this Corona period. Have you observed this? The sales has come down. The sales
Yes,
has
yes.
because they are perishable goods. The
Yes.
customers are not having income. Their taste are changed because of the safety reasons, and they are not preferring to take the meat. And this was a situation during March, April. Okay, but now what happened? People thought, okay, the meat gives a lot of protein, and protein is essential to fight, to have some immunity. And now they started consuming more. So now what happens when the demand was less? Okay, in the case of meat during this, March, April, what happened? The demand for the meat was very less, but also the price of the meat was very high because government was has banned that not to sell, especially in Tamil Nadu. They have banned the sales of meat. But because of that, what happened? People started charging more. Like a kg of mutton was sold for like 900,000 rupees. Okay, so these are just take it as just as example, nothing personal here. Just for examples, I'm giving all these things. So the cost of kg of mutton was 1,000 rupees, and that even that this is contradictory situation. That is, the demand was less, the supply was also less, but the cost of the product was high. So mostly what happens? Mostly illegal products will be like this. The demand for products will be less, but the cost of the products will also, the supply of the demand and supply of the illegal products will be less, but the cost of the products are going to be high. I don't need to give any example for this, right? That's why I gave the example of the meat. Okay, but the demand for durable goods will change over a long period of time, because sometimes we are like that. Like some durable goods are there, but still we don't find it, we can't use it longer. A cycle, if you buy a big cycle, it can last for life, but we don't do that. Even in childhood we change cycles many times. Okay, we buy a shoe. and we must have used hardly for 3-6 months. But again, no, this is a placement time. I need a new shoe. Let it, and again, the best example could be like this: you'll buy a school bag every time, or the books. Okay, we buy every time. Every time we want to have a new school bag or the new water bottle or the new books whenever we enter the new academic year. New means for a new beginning we need new things. This is like a this is something which is wrongly fed into our mind. Correct? We the books is the same in school. If you take the books, the syllabus, if the syllabus is same, you know it. You can buy a old book, but why we are buying a new book? Because that's the mindset. We think, okay, new beginning, new books every year. Okay, we know some of our students. I know some, even including me. Okay, so what happens whenever the new semester starts? There are some students, they'll buy new books, that five subject notebook or something. They'll buy new pen. Like when the first day of the semester, they'll be more into, and they'll buy all these things. They'll even take a oath that they'll study very good that semester. They'll take correct notes, all these things. They'll write notes for the first class, second class half notes, third class onwards he doesn't even carry a pen and the notebook to the classroom. Correct? So that's what durable goods change over long period of time. Durability is there, but again, depending upon the mindset of the people, that may even change. Comes the other type is called a short term and long term demand. Okay, so short term demands mean for demand for products that are used for a shorter duration of time. The classic examples are given for you. Demand for umbrellas only during the rainy season. I go, I want to, I didn't, I mean, check where my umbrella is there in my house. If it's not raining, I don't bother about umbrellas. Same applies to the raincoats. Even when I feel cold, I search where I get my sweaters or my jerkins or something like that. Then long boots. Okay, of course we don't have the situation of using long boots in Tamil Nadu. Okay, depending upon these are short-term demands are always seasonal. Example again, or you can take the example of crackers, firecrackers. We don't burst crackers every day. We burst crackers only during during any celebrations, or during, especially during Diwali. These are Diwali. So these are short-term demands. Okay, and we have long-term demands. Long-term demands like every day we use, right? So those products are called as long-term demand for products for a longer period of time. Okay, these long term, I mean this indirectly, I mean the durable goods. That means these products are long term. If I want to use some product, that is going to be a yeah.
So then what do the factories or the production units which produce short-term products do for the rest of the year?
Nice question. Good question. Okay, let me complete this discussion and get back to you. Okay, give me a minute. I'll complete this long-term product. So the long-term products are going to change depending upon the technology, because you're using a mobile phone. Some upgradation is there. I'm using some OnePlus 3T, which I bought some 3 years back. Now it's 8 or 80. I have to change. That's what I feel. Okay, technology has changed. I should change. It was 3G or 4G, now 5G. Even 5G is not available in India, but still we want to we want to upgrade our phones. Same applies to laptops. And type of competition. This competition means not that I want to compete with the other industry. It may be like even a competition. Sometimes if you check among your peers, that my friend has bought an Apple phone, I want to compete with him. He has got a new bike, I will buy a new. So even though the product can sustain for a long time, but still we don't do it. Then again, depending upon the promotional activities, what we face are the availability of substitutes. We go for, okay, trying the XY product. So I may have a Apple iPhone, but still someone says, you see the Samsung 20 Note or Note 10 or something. I don't remember the models. It's very good than compared. This camera is good. This guy will already have a Apple the recent version, I don't know, 10 or 9, but this guy will be buying another mobile because the camera is good. So depending upon that, right? So the long term and short terms goal, the demand for short term and long term should be there. Only then you can get new products. You say, for example, everyone promises in India that we will buy only we won't buy new cell phones for the next 10 years. What will happen? For the next 10 years or next 5 years or next 1 year, I don't change my mobiles. What will happen? Imagine all VAD, let's take only VAD students. All VAD students are taking a oath that, I mean, are promising that they don't buy they won't change their mobile in the next 1 year. What will happen? Almost all shops in
Yes,
all mobile shops in Vellore should be closed. In the next 3 months or 6 months, all mobile shops in Vellore will be closed. If you're buying only from Vellore. Okay. Now let me get back to the question what is asked by. I don't know who has asked. I'm answering this question. The last question what I had from you. What happens to these companies which manufacture short-term products? Correct. These companies, whichever manufactures short-term products, I mean the products which are shorter demand, they always have multiple products in their company. Okay, say for example, I am manufacturing a raincoat. I will also be manufacturing umbrellas, or I will also be manufacturing sweaters. So depending upon the season, I can find my market. There will be a market for me for my product. Say otherwise, let's take like this. You buy an umbrella. If any Carolites are there, I think they will agree with me. Whenever a Carolite is coming out of his home, they will carry an umbrella. I have seen a lot of people carrying umbrella whenever they come outside their home. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Carolites in class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that is their habit. Because they don't know, because their setup is like that. They don't know when they will have when it will rain. Sudden all of it will be so shiny, but all of a sudden it will start rain. So everyone you could find just like how you carry a mobile phone, they used to carry umbrella. That may be the case of a case of Kerala. Okay. Please mute your mic, the others. Okay. If you want to ask a question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Okay. So, but when it is raining in Kerala, there will be good sales of umbrella in Kerala. But what happens to the company which manufactures only umbrella? The other place, if you say the other place, Rajasthan, say let's say Rajasthan or any place in Maharashtra or anywhere in the world, there may be the umbrella may be used for summer, like to prevent yourself from the sun rays, you can use umbrellas. So the application of umbrella is not only for rainy season places where it rains more or where it's going to be more sunny. So both the places the demand for umbrella is there, like it is going to be a balanced demand. And that's why you don't find for the short term products, we don't find many companies involved in manufacturing their products. I'll give you an example. This mostly I think this Nike, Adidas, all these brands like jerkins, they produce this jerkins, or what do you call the sweatshirts, right? So the sweaters, or many of these things which you use only these things they were manufacturing in India, but now what happens? Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are leading in this market of producing jerkins. Okay, can you name any big brand in manufacturing jerkins?
Alan Solly.
And sorry, I mean jerkins. They do jerkins.
Yes, so all kinds of clothes actually.
Okay, all kinds. Let's. So what happens is people, this Alan Soli will not produce this. Okay, what they will do? They'll go to Bangladesh. They'll order so many number of jerkins. They'll say that they will send the design of the logo. Their logo will be printed on that. They take it from that. Even Apple does that. Apple is a durable product, but even Apple does that. They buy phones manufactured in China or Taiwan or somewhere or Thailand. Okay, so depending upon the product. So what was I discussing? Yeah, sweaters. So this is the demand for sweaters manufactured in Bangladesh. So, I went to UK in the first week of March. I was searching for it was so cold. I was searching for a jacket. The cost, the quality and cost, I will not pay more than 2,000 rupees or 2,000, 3,000 rupees in India, but it was costing me around like 8,000 in Indian money in UK. Then I asked. Then when I just checked one of my friend, he told that these are not manufactured in UK. These are manufactured from Bangladesh. They bring it here in the brand name of such and such and brand. That was a leading brand. What I searched. Okay, so the actual price is less, but when it comes to the other country or other place, that's a short-term demand. So that's what I do. So it's not like that. Jerkins manufactured in Bangladesh, which has a short-term demand, will be used only in Bangladesh. You're going to export and use it. Okay, so that's how it get balanced. Okay, most towards it will be a balanced demand. I hope I answered you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's what. So now you understand. I guess you understand what is short term and what is long term. Okay, now let's end up with this slide, with this slide and the next few slides, next 2-3 slides. So what are the factors influencing demand? Please understand or make a note of this. What are the factors which is influencing the demand? The first comes the price of good or service. What is the cost? Cost is the first primary factor which is going to determine the demand. Correct? Cost is the primary factor which is going to determine the demand. That's why you feel all product sales will decrease if the price of the product is high. Next comes the income of the consumer. That's why I told the ability to pay. Only if I'm able to pay, I will go and buy the product. Okay, so that's why you don't find many people coming to KFC in India. Correct? Because we know that they may be coming occasionally, but there is no regular visitor to KFC because people know that the cost of chicken in KFC is high. That's why it depends upon, because the income of the average income of any Indian is not sufficient to go and eat chicken only in KFC. Okay, so the price, the ability to pay, or the income of the consumers should be balanced always. Then the price of related goods and services. That's what I told you. The price of related goods and service should be equal to the price of the product, or it should be low. Mostly it should be low. Say for example, the price of related goods and services. Okay, let's take the example like this. uh, uh, let's say there is a guy, like I may be using a lot of these examples, so please don't take it anything personal, just for the just take it as just take it as an example. Okay, imagine the cost of, as I told you during this situation, the cost of mutton has went up to okay, let's avoid this meaty thing. Okay, let's say the cost of apple, of 1 kg of apple is 200 rupees. Okay, and a poor man will not be able to eat an apple every day. So instead, what he can do, he can go for a substitute. He can take, instead of apple, he can go for something, a lemon or something like that, an orange, some replacement for an apple or a banana. Okay, so these are the price of related goods. So I'm not able to buy an apple, but I can buy a banana. So like alternate products. Instead of this, I can survive. Instead of eating, it's not like that I can survive only by eating an apple. Even I can survive by eating a banana, which is very less, maybe 2 rupees or 10 rupees. I can buy a banana. So the same applies to goods and services. Like we also prefer, like we try to go to a good hospital, but if it's crowded, or if you feel that the same quality or same service is being, I can get it from another hospital, I will go there. Or let's take the example of watching movies. It's not that always I should go to PVR, right? You also go to the nearest theater. What is that? I just forgot. Galaxy, right?
Galaxy.
Yes, sir.
Near to VID. I think you remember where VIT is located now. This 4 months, correct? Okay, so it's not that always you want to watch a movie in PVR. You can watch it in Galaxy also. That is called the price of related goods and services. Because in PVR it costs 140 or 150. In Galaxy, I guess it's cost 120. I don't know the price. So I may be wrong. Just take it. Anyway, it is going to be less than PVR. That's what I believe. Then the taste pattern of consumer. If you take me personally, I don't like eating in high big hotels, and I hate going there. I love street foods. I can go and have food easily in a street food, because I don't like waiting for a long time in high business. It's not like that I don't go. I do go, but the taste, I prefer what is available locally in the street side, or the small shops is very tastier than that. That's why the taste pattern of the consumer is very important. But sometimes this taste will also be the other way. So there are people, if they won't have biryani, they'll go only to this place. If they want to have some particular food, they'll go only to the particular hotel at times, right? Say if you want some people, they want to have sweets, they'll go only to Haldiram's, or they go to only to the Agarwals, right? So the taste pattern always determine. This is not only about the food. It's also applicable to the other products. Like taste patterns here, I mean it will also take the loyalty of the customers, right? I love only Royal Enfield bikes. So if I buy a bike, I'll buy only Royal Enfield. Many people are so much strong in their decision of buying only, even though the waiting period is time, they will buy only that. Okay, then then the future price of the product. Okay, I'll buy a Royal Enfield bike now. It will cost me around like 1,50,000, 40,000. Okay, let me buy it now. If I buy after 6 months, the price of the product may go up to 2 lakhs. Okay, same applies to our Indian parents. They think that okay, we should save a lot of gold. I'll buy gold now so that when my I'm getting my boy or the girl, I can use this gold there. So because the price of the gold after the period of time, it is going to increase anyhow. I'll invest on some land. If I buy some land now, I'll invest on real estate. So after a time, it will be booming. So all this, even shares or whatever. So the future price of the product also determines the demand. Okay, suddenly if you see, all people will go and buy invest in real estate, because someone buys, we will follow that, right? So everyone, then suddenly there will be no sales of land. Now the situation is happening. Many people started investing in land due to this pandemic situation. Last 4 3 months, there is no sales, no improvement in real estate. So that is how the demand is can be. Sometimes demand can be artificially created. Then also depends upon the number of consumers in the market. Of course, the number of consumers in the market determines the demand. How much your product will get in the market, right? So the price of the product and the demand, the quantity of demand is always equal. So the change in demand or change in price will cause a negative effect sometimes. Okay, so when we consider all the products, the quantity of demand is a functional component of the price of the product. So whenever there's a change in demand, that is going to affect the change in cost of the product also. So I'm just summed up everything together. So just note down this equation. Please note down this equation. The demand is determined by the price of the product, price of other goods or the substitutes or the complements, then income of the consumer, taste, the structure or the structure of the population, because sometimes the demand is regional based. Okay, let me take this example. I know this Bengal people from Bengalis and the Gujaratis, they are more fond of sweets. Okay, even I love sweets. They are more fond of sweets. Without sweets, they don't have any function. Even a small thing, they have to go with the sweets. So geographically, if you take people will be more towards, there will be demand for certain products which can be geographical based. Geographically, people will love certain items like that. Okay, so that's why I take this example. So it will be depending upon the population and popularity. Then depends upon the advertisements, or depending if Shah Rukh Khan is recommending Big Basket, everyone will buy from Big Basket. If some X or Y heroine is recommending a fairness cream, people will buy that because we want to become like that heroine or that hero. Okay, then because influencing, like this advertisements are like influencing things. Then what are the expectations of the customer? A technical guy will ask for so and so specifications to play a PUBG game in his mobile without any problem in issue in the graphics. So like that. So the expectations of the customers are also getting high and high and high day by day. So these are the influencing factors of that of demand. Okay, like if you want, you can note down these equations. Again, I will list down the other factors also: income of the customer, consumer taste, price related to goods, all these things. Again, climate conditions, populations. Because when I say climate conditions, in Vellore, I'm not going to buy sweaters. Okay, Vellore during summer season, I'm not going to buy sweaters. You know how hard it is, right? So again, living standards, how you spend. So if you normally see a guy, the age population, right? So if you take the age of 21 to 26, right? When you are not married, or when you start to earn, you will spend more. You got this? Am I right? When you start to earn, like say the age of 21 or 22, for the next 3 4 years, 25, 26, you will be spending more. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That's why that's why whenever, say for example, you get a job in TCS, or for any industry for that matter, whenever you join that company, you will be given a bank account, and the next, I mean the day, the same day, especially if it happens with Infosys, people who have joined Infosys or TCS, you can ask them, the day they join the bank, they will provide credit cards to them. Okay, because they know that this guy is going to get a salary, on an average salary of 40,000 or 45,000. He'll spend so much money, so at the end of the month he will not have a penny in his pocket, so he will need this credit card. They know that because these people will buy more, that's why they try to give the credit card and make you debt, go in debt for your next 5 years, or at least 5 years, still you realize your mistake. Correct? So spend less, only spend when you need to spend. Okay, I'm not asking you to stop spending. Okay, so I have a request from this Seth Ram Sudit. Okay, so that's the discussion for this class. From this class, so far we have discussed only about demand. In this class, I will discuss about supply, and next class we'll also discuss the important point of important concept called as elasticity of demand. You will have a lot of questions from elasticity of demand, especially with respect to your quiz or the FAT examination. Okay, so please try to attend the next two classes where I'm going to speak about elasticity of demand. Okay, so now I can take your questions if you have any. Do you have any questions?
No.
Did you able to submit the quiz?
Yes, sir.
Is it done?
Yes, sir.
No.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No.
No,
You
sir.
didn't find, you didn't find that form?
No, sir.
No, sir. Can't find.
No, sir.
There in the general chat, sir.
Huh? It is in general chat, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In general chat, I have submitted. Okay. Anyway, I'm giving you another quiz. Just take it down. Okay. A short quiz I'm giving.
So what's the answer for the first poll?
What was the question?
Price of,
Market is not generally, the demand is not generally classified as.
Okay, what was the answer?
so price of the market.
Last option. Okay. The last option was price.
Price of the market.
price of the product. Okay, I'm giving a similar question, right? The individual demand depends on the ability to pay, the willingness to pay, or the desire for the product. Giving a true or false question. Please submit these answers in the in this poll. Okay. Okay, I have submitted the new poll. Please submit this, and if you have any questions, meanwhile I can take it out. Okay, so submit the answer for this poll, which I post in the chat window, so that I will consider this as attendance. Okay, meanwhile I'll take the other attendance also.
We can go, sir.
Okay, if you have posted the attendance, if you have answered the question to the form which I put in the meeting chat, you can leave, no problem. If you have any questions, I'm waiting to take the questions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. We'll meet on Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Sir, I cannot respond to true and false.
You can't find?
True and false. I cannot respond to the true and false.
Sir, do we have class tomorrow?
No, as per the timetable. We are on Monday, right?
But sir, like tomorrow Saturday now, so they have scheduled Monday's timetable on Saturday. I think so.
Okay, if Monday's timetable is on Saturday, tomorrow we have a class. Okay,
Okay, sir. So how do we confirm that thing?
I'll put it in
We
the
just
WhatsApp.
got, sir, we
Okay, sir.
just got a mail from our
Oh, just
Dean Academy.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just now I do got a mail. It states that day order for Saturdays. Okay, this is a new mail. Yeah. Okay, so 18 is tomorrow is 18. We have the Monday timetable, right? Okay. Okay, we have a class tomorrow, right? At what time we have a class as per Monday timetable? I think it's 9 to 10, right?
10 to 11, sir.
10 to 11. Okay, thank you. Okay, then we'll have a class on tomorrow at 10 to 11. Okay. Okay, so all Saturdays are working days, huh? Okay, good. Okay, if you're submitted, you can leave. Leave the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Sir,
you.
what to submit, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Come again?
So, what to submit?
Which one? You submitted the quiz?
Sir, my test, sir, true and false is not working for me.
It's not working. Okay, just
No, sir.
okay, just okay. You can just type your registration number in the chat window, or you can put in the WhatsApp group. Put it in the WhatsApp group. I'll give you a time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sometimes it is recorded, but sometimes it doesn't show you, but it shows to me.
Sir, it is showing 0 for me. True and false 0 is showing. So no
Just click.
options are showing. No options are also showing.
I just kept true or false. Okay, there's no
Sir,
problem.
I've sent it. Okay.
Okay.